Hello everyone. Today I'm going to make a nice quick video about the Blue Jays. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock, or if you just don't care about baseball, it's there's big news in the baseball world today. The Jays have beat the Mariners in the ALCS, and for the first time in I think probably decades, at least a few decades maybe, the Jays are in the World Series. Now, whether we'll win the World Series or not, that's a whole other question. I'm just making this video right after watching the highlights of the ALCS Game 7 between the Jays and the Mariners. It was 3-4. Jays got four, obviously. It was the Mariners who got three. And, in like, was it the seventh inning, eighth inning? For most of the game, there was a lead. Seattle had the lead 3-1. And it looked like, you know what, they might have actually won. But then George Springer hit that bomb, that three-run bomb into left field. And then the whole stadium, the whole Rogers Center got really excited by that. So, you know, no one would have expected at the beginning of the MLB season, even the most optimistic Jays fan could not have predicted that we would have ended up in the World Series. That was beyond a lot of people's imaginations, even mine. I would never have expected. I wasn't even sure if we'd make the playoffs, coming into the season. And look where we are. We're at the top of the American League. Now, one thing I'll say, Seattle did well. New York did well. We beat New York in the ALDS, but we were the better team at the end. And Seattle did well. Seattle, they just barely defeated Detroit. I'm looking at the website right now. They barely defeated Detroit, and they almost defeated us. And when the Jays played Seattle in the regular season, we tended to lose against them. So I wasn't even sure if the Jays would win this series, but we did. But I do want to give credit to Seattle. They did play pretty well, both in the season and the postseason. Now for the World Series, we're facing the Dodgers. The Dodgers were last year's World Series, 2024. Beating the Dodgers is not going to be easy, and I don't know if this is going to happen because the Dodgers. Let me check. The Dodgers were definitely one of the top. Okay, I no. In the NL, they were at the top of the NL West for a while, but then they slacked. The Padres beat them, I think. So they won the wild card. And around the end of the MLB season, the Dodgers were slacking a bit. So I wasn't even sure if they. I wasn't expecting them to make the World Series either because they did well in the beginning of the season and in the middle, but then they just started slacking. So I wasn't really sure if I didn't expect them to make it to the World Series either. But yeah, they steamrolled to the World Series. They won two games against Seattle, three against Philly. They only lost in the whole postseason of 2025. They only lost one game to Philadelphia. I don't know by how much. Let me just look at that. So they lost in a game to Philadelphia. This was 8-2. Okay, so but yeah, aside from that loss against Philadelphia, the Dodgers have just steamrolled their way to the World Series. And honestly speaking, of course I want to see the Jays win the World Series, but just winning one or two games against the Dodgers, that's good enough for me. Again, I prefer a World Series win for the Jays, but this Dodgers team is one of the best in the world, probably the best in the world. And beating them is not gonna it's not gonna be easy if it does happen. But yeah, I'm so excited to watch the game. Not in person, but the highlights at least. And my friends, my friend Kartik, he's also watching the game. But my friend Seth also. But yeah, I'm just happy to see that the Jays made it this far. This is a big moment in Jays history, and we'll be remembering this time many years down the road. So yeah, I want the Jays to win. But let's see what happens. Bye bye.